guys, it is Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. I have a highly requested one for you guys today. We're going to do Damage Incorporated off of Master of Puppets, classic, one of my favorite tracks on the album, so it's going to be a long one and a fun one. So, we are in standard tuning here, before I get into it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've got lots of Metallica stuff. I'm always releasing Metallica stuff. And ring that little notification bell so you know when I release a video. And if you have YouTube on your phone, make sure you enable notifications so you'll actually know when I release a video too. And please check out my Guitar Academy. It's at GuitarLessons365.com. It's got all my guitar courses. A lot of cool stuff there. And I want to thank all the people that have become members of this channel, have joined the channel, support the channel with their little monthly contribution. Helps me keep this going. So if you're not, please join the channel. It'll really help me keep cranking these things out. All right, so let's do this. We're going to start here, not with what I just played. I did a little guitar arrangement of Cliff Burton's little reverse bass chord intro, which is actually based off a Bach chorale prelude called Come Sweet Death, which is, you know, pleasant. Anyway, so here's what I came up with that. For that, I have a cool little auto swell thing done with my Line 6 Helix here. So it sounds like this. All right, so that's obviously not going to sound exactly like it's not the intention here, but it's really cool kind of putting all those volume swells that he's doing. He's got some he's sliding out of the notes and stuff too, and just kind of arrange them for one guitar to do with a cool little patch. So hopefully you're interested in doing this. If not, you can just skip to the actual guitar parts of the song. So we have this A power chord off the I'm just hitting off the 5th fret of the low E string, the 7th fret of the A and the D. And then, so I'm picking the low note with the pick, and then the other two notes, I'm just hybrid picking. I'm picking using my middle and my ring finger for all this stuff. There's a couple of chords I just kind of strum, just regular bar chords. All right, then I get to this G major, which is the 3rd fret on the low E, 5th fret on the D, and 4th fret on the G. Then to a B minor here, which is going to be the 2nd fret of the A string, 4th fret of the G, 3rd fret of the B. So we have that. Kind of hitting them all at the same time and letting it swell in. You can use a volume pedal if you don't have a little auto feature that'll do it for you, like on the Helix, or with your volume knob. All right, and then we're going to go up to an A major here, which is going to be the 5th fret of the low E, 6 on the G, 5 on the B. So far we have this. So that's to a D major chord there. I'm going to cover that. 5th on the A, 7 on the G and the B. From there, we're going to go to a bar here at the 7th fret. And you're going to also have the 9th fret there on the D. So I'm picking the low E, the D string, and then the B string. So I gotta kind of separate those two notes now on the middle on the ring. And then do the same thing 1 fret higher. And then the same thing at the 3rd fret. So after that D major chord. All right, from there, we're just gonna strum lightly, just a regular A major bar chord, then a G major bar chord. And then that kind of starts us over back with that B minor. And the same thing from that B minor that we did before. One thing I'll add here is when I get down here to this G chord here, that second time around I'm playing that, remember that 7, 8, 3, let that ring and then add the 4th fret there on the G by itself. And then back to the same thing again, that A bar chord to the G, and then back to the B minor again, and same sequence of chords. And then what I do on this last one is I just kind of make it a little bit bigger. I'm using my thumb on the low E string, the 3rd fret, 5th fret on the D, the 5th fret on the, I'm sorry, it's the D note on the A string, 5th fret on the A, and then 5th fret on the D, then the open G, and then the open, and then the 3rd fret there on the B. Just kind of let that swell in. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing. If you have a Metallica cover band and people will know what that is, then you can just actually play it on some kind of cool setting on your guitar. All right, so let's get to the first, when the band first enters here, we have this. All right, so pretty easy stuff, E power chord. Go to the F power chord, the 1st fret, and heavily palm mute it, down, up, down. So this. Repeat. And then you're gonna basically do the same thing, except kind of faster hits on the low E. All right, so you're still doing that little kind of muted hits there on the 1st fret there. And then we get to the main riff, really fast one, fun to play though. All right, so what we're going to be doing is just on the low E, just rapid palm muting, alternate picking there, the low E string, and then you're going to go into this. So what that is, it's going to be a muted 5th fret there on the low E string, and then you're going to pick the 7th fret there on the A and the D together. And then what you're going to do is you're going to keep this, you might want to keep that bar there. You're just going to add the pinky there at the 8th fret on the D. So it's going to be still the 7th fret on the A, and then now the 8th fret on the D. And I hit that with an upstroke. So we have this. So you do that 3 times. So. Now, so the third time of playing that, we go kind of make it to that the 2 7s there. You get there right at the not hit on the third time of playing that. You're gonna hit those 2 7s, and I like to change the fingerings I do there because I'm gonna shift this chord down to the 2nd fret real quick. And then when you get there, you're gonna start doing the rapid alternate picking there on the 2nd fret there, the low E. And then what he does is he jumps up to the kind of the same pattern. Muted 3rd fret there on the low E string, and you're gonna play the 2 5s that on the A and the D. And then the note that changes on the D string is you're gonna go down to the 4th fret. So you're gonna keep that 5th fret there on the A. All right, so after you've done that a couple of times, we end it with this. So that's the power chord here at the 2nd fret off the A string. Over to the 3rd fret power chord off the low E. Then the open A power chord. Then back to that 3rd fret power chord off the low E. Then take it down to the 2nd fret, and that's when you'll just kind of just some rapid, all muted alternate picking again. So we have. All right, so you'll see that riff again a little bit later. He also plays it during the rhythm guitar part of the solo. All right, so now we have the verse. You'll see James play this slightly different at one little part live, but you can tell on the recording that he doesn't quite play it like that. He kind of plays it like Kirk plays it live. So I'm going to do it that way and not worry about. I'll show you when we get there. So anyway, it sounds like this. That's the chorus. I won't go all the way there. All right, so what we're going to be doing here is going to pick the 6th fret power chord off the low E, slide down to 3. And then the rhythm after that on the open E string, it's a quick little 1, 2, 3, so down, up, down, and then kind of a slower group of 2 hits. So I just do those with down 3. And then another group of 3. So this. So all together. So I basically do that 3 times. So all together. So it's when it comes together, it's pretty quick. The 4th time this is where James plays it a little bit different live. On the recording, it's this. So on the recording, he's gonna basically it's the same riff, except you're gonna slide from 6 down to 1, and do that first group of 3 on that 1, and then it's back on the open E for the rest of the rhythm pattern. So it's like what he does live, probably because it's kind of hard to sing and dance and all, you know. James is a big dancer, you know, on stage. He actually plays it, that B flat, he plays it here and doesn't slide. He just, like that. But you'll see Kurt continue to, he does it like that. So on the recording, there's an obvious slide there. So I just recommend like that. So all together. All right, then we repeat. All right, so now the second time around with the riff, instead of that sliding down to the first fret, we end it like this. Which is kind of just, there's rapid alternate picking there off the 5th fret there of the A string. You can play the full power chord, or just a single note, and then 6 on the low, and repeat. So then when you repeat the second time around live, I think both of them, and it makes sense. This little, he actually plays it like this. And so he moves that chord down here, that steps right into the chorus. So I'll play both times through so you can see that little different ending there. So wait. So you can see that just, instead of doing that, switch it down to the 1st fret there. And then that takes us to the chorus, pretty easy part. So that's that same ending that we did earlier. Just done twice. All right, so then we go back to a kind of abbreviated version of when the band first entered, the whole band, little. All right, so that's all they do there. It's just kind of that same hit. And they start doing the fast E5s, and they don't do that little first fret again. They just jump right back into the verse section. All right, so that's the same, and then the chorus is the same. And then we get to the end of the chorus, which will have the end of the second chorus. There's a little extended. It's kind of another one where they just kind of hit those, do the rapid picking there on the 2nd fret power chord, which takes us into the interlude/bridge section. Really cool riff. So let me play this part. There's actually 2 guitar parts here, distinct parts here. So let me play through the main one here. All right, so it's pretty involved. Not the hardest thing to memorize, though. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start with 2 hits on the low E, just downstrokes. And the key to this riff is to remember that every time you're playing the 7th fret on the A string, play it with a quick down up. And you kind of go back and hit the low E real quick too. So down, up, down. So this. Then the rest of the riff is pretty easy. We're gonna play, for the rest of the notes, you're always gonna pick just the note once. So the 8th fret there on the A string, and then the open E just once. And then the 5th fret on the A string, and then the open E once. So once again, we're going to start with 2 open E strings. And then the pattern is going to go 7, 8, 5. You're always hitting the open E after each one of those. And you're going to play the 7th fret twice. Let's play this. All right, now we're going to go 7, 8, 7. So remember, every time you play 7, you're going to hit that note twice. And you're always hitting the low E after each note on the A string. So we have this. So so just the notes on the A string. That'll make it easy. So we have that 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, 7. So from there, all right, so remember, it starts with 2 open E's, then and then you're going to end the riff. There's a variation of this a little bit, which is the 6th fret power chord off the E string. So we have this. So after you've done it 3 times there, you're going to have a different ending. So that starts the same. So it's the same there, but then we're going to go 7, 3, 5. So remember at 3 and 5, you're still going to hit the open E between each note on the A string. And there, the power chord there at the 2nd fret off the A string. So we're all together. Same riff done 3 times. So you take that and you are going to repeat that twice before then the vocals come in over it, and you just keep repeating that same riff. Now, over that, live I usually see Hetfield will play that riff when it's played kind of by itself. And we have these chords. Got that going with it. So, and so what's that? You'll see it was the 1st fret power chord here, palm muted, kind of down, up, down, to the 1st fret power chord off the A string. Dun, 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 dun. 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 Now the last one, he goes up and hits the B power chord, the 2nd fret of the A, so it's like dun, 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 dun. Now this one's up the 2nd fret. So still the kind of F mutes there. And then as the riff continues, we have this open E power chord and let it ring, and then just do the same thing. So you're always going to end it, go first, press that B flat power chord. And up to the, so it's the same thing. So, and that's coming over underneath that kind of stuff. All right. So from there, we just we saw the same. You can kind of end it with that kind of riff there, and that takes us into the rhythm for underneath the solo. So this, like I said, is very similar to the second half of it to the intro of this, or the main riff of the song. So we have this. Here's the Hetfield's part doing the solo. All right, so that is just basically starting out with just a low E for a while, then take it up to the F sharp. And then it's just the intro riff after that. All right, so same thing, same little ending we have there for the chorus. The end of the solo. Except now, the second time I'm playing that riff, when you get down to the second fret, we're gonna build up chromatically 2, 3, 4, 5. All right? So that's just the rhythms for the solo. Now I'm gonna play through Kirk Hammett's solo for you real quick. It's gonna be a fun one, and then we'll check it out, how to play it phrase by phrase. All right, so let's take a look at this solo. A lot of kind of signature Kirk Hammett type stuff in there. We're gonna start with just kind of this repetitive lick that you've probably seen him kind of do this kind of thing before, where he's really just kind of, it's almost like a tremolo picked thing in the right hand, and he's just going kind of rotating between the 15 and 12 on the high E string. So he just kind of, and then what he does is he takes that and he starts kind of doing a more of a tremolo pick, repeating the 15th fret, like that a little bit, and then kind of going 15, 14, 12. So we have this. So all that together, all right, just kind of something like that, and then just pick straight through them a couple of times now. So it's kind of like 3 ways of playing that. We have this, and then repeating the top note with the 15, 14, 12. And then picking straight through them into a bend there at the 15th fret on the high E string. So with this all together. All right, now the next phrase looks like this. All right, so I'm going to stop when we get to that note. That kind of starts a new pattern. So you can get it as it's kind of a quick little sweep, I think. So you're sliding into the 16 on the G, then playing 15 on the B, and 14 on the high E. So you want to make those sound like just like a quick sweep. So when we get there, you can kind of go up to 17, 15, 17, back down, 15, 14. So and then what you'll do is you're going to pull off a couple of times, 15 to 14 on the high E, and then 17 on the B, back to 14 on the high E, and back to that 17 on the B. So we have this. Now here, at this point, it's a little bit easier to memorize because we start like a little descending pattern. So it's a little 3-note lick that he's descending and then he starts from the next note in the scale and descends. So it's a little 3-note sequence that he's taken down through the scale. So let me just show you the notes of the scale first, and then we'll look at the pattern that he plays across it. So we're going to play 15, 14 on the B, then 16, 14, 13 on the G, over to 16 on the D string. So those are the notes. And what you're going to do now is you're going to just play a pattern, a 3-note pattern. You're going to start from the top note, the first note, play 3 notes down from it, just follow the scale. Now do 3 notes down again, but now starting from the next note down in the scale. And then the next note down, and then the next note. So you can see right there, I did some pull-offs there. So whenever there's 2 notes on the same string, I'm usually just kind of pulling off the next one. So it's like. Even here, I slid down to that. All right, now here we start this new little lick, which is a little bit difficult to play. There's probably easier areas on the fretboard to play it. But the way he does it is with some rolls across the D and the G string, just like this. And then I'll move it up. All right, so that lick starts at the 14th fret there on the D string. You're going to roll over to the 14th on the G string. You're going to pick that twice. Pull off to 13, over to 16 on the D. So that's really the lick. And to repeat. And then you're going to jump up to here, the 16 on the D string with your middle finger. So that's 16, and it's the same pattern, except obviously the frets are going to be a little bit different. So you're going to, from 16 on the D, roll over to 16 on the G, pick that twice, pull off to 12, over to 18 on the D. So that's the notes now. So you do that twice, and then we do this. This one's a little bit easier. You're going to play that 16, same note on the D string, the 16th fret, and then up to 18 twice on the G string, pull off to 16, pull off to 14. So just kind of repeat that. Repeat. So from here, so coming at this. All right, and then we get to some unison bends. All right, so those unison bends are the 14th fret on the high E string, and then the bending on the 17th fret on the B string. And then we just have kind of a quick little blues lick there, which is just hammering on 14 to 17, pull back off to 14 on the B, over to 16 on the G. So just repeat that, you know. So that's coming out of all right, and then from here we have this really cool lick. So what's going on there? We're gonna pull off, we're gonna pick 10 on B, pull off to 7, and then pick the open B string twice. Now you're going to repeat that exact same thing, except now you're going to just move the notes in the left hand up 1 fret each time. So now instead of 7, 10, it's 8, 11. Then 9, 12, 10, 13, 11, 14, 12, 15, 13, 16, 14. So we have this. All right, when you get there, now we start the next phrase, which looks like this. So that's unison bend again, but now instead of the 14th fret, it's at the 12th. Pick the 14th, that 15th fret there on the B, release it, and play 12, 13. So, all right, then. So that's kind of sliding into the 15th fret on the B string. And then play 14, 15, 17 on the high E into a bend there. Down to release, down to 15, 14, back to 15. All right, now he kind of stays in this position and plays this lick. All right, so this is one of those licks that, getting exactly note for note, not that important, but it's just kind of more like this. Something like that. I'm just kind of making it up. So really the notes, it's just kind of what he's just kind of going for it. Just between 15, 14, 17 on the high E, 15, 14, 17 on the B, and then 14, 16 on the G. So just have a field day with those notes. And at the very end of the lick, when he gets down to that note, when you get down to that note, come up and grab the octave of that at the 17th fret on the high E. And then we're back down to that note. So it's kind of. And then we're going to end it kind of with the same lick we did it earlier. So we're going to start it with a bend there at the 16th fret on the G string. And then you get into that lick. And you're going to end it with a bend on the high E at 17th fret. So. All right, next section. All right, I'll stop there, even though it's kind of in between sections. Now, he kicks in the wah pedal here. I didn't kick in, I don't have the wah pedal engaged here. It's a pain for me to do it when I'm sitting down, so I just not gonna use it. So you know it comes in here. So it's this oblique bend here. So you're holding the 15th fret on the B string, and then the 14th fret on the G. So you're gonna be bending up that 14th fret. And then we go into this. It's kind of similar to the first very phrase in the song where we're just playing that 15, 14, 12. You gotta hit the top note a couple times each time before going through all 3 notes. Into the 15th fret bend there. All right, this next section's a little bit crazy lick. Looks like this. All right, so we're back to some tremolo picking here, and we just need to know, go up the scale. So we're just up the E minor here. So 12, 14, 15, 17. Then you're going to start back going up again, but this time from 15. So 15, 17, 19. Then 17, 19, 20. So he's kind of going up the scale. Then 19, 20, 22. So the first one was the one we had 4 notes to start it. And then starting from the 15th fret, it's always 3 notes. And always starting in the next note up in the scale. So it is. And when it gets to the 22nd fret, no rules from here. It's just literally a 3-note pattern that he's You can do any kind of 3-note pattern you feel like doing, but you can be just like, he just creates chaos. Just kind of take it down the string, 22, 20, 19 if you want. Take that down to about the 10th fret, or bigger, just 2 whole step shape. All right, it's supposed to sound like chaos, and it is. All right, then we get to that same ending. And then he has this little tapping lick that ends it, which is... All right, so... Yeah, that's it. So it's going to be just 10-7 in the left hand the entire time. And it's a simple 3-note tapping lick. So we're going to tap the 12th fret. You can use your middle finger if you want. Tap 12, pull off the 10, and pull off the 7. So it's a simple tapping lick. And you're going to repeat it, the tap of the 12th fret twice. Then just move up the tapping finger 1 fret and do that again. Then again. 14, then to 15. And when you get to 16, you can start just kind of, right then, he just really starts kind of going up a fret at a time and just doesn't really worry about it. All right, now, so out of the solo, we have that same riff that we had at the interlude, but just with a slightly different little variation of it. So it looks like this. All right, so basically the only thing that is different is when you're ending it that first time through with the B flat power chord off the 6th fret of the low E string, and then when you start the riff again, the second time through you're going to do it with the D power chord off the 5th fret of the A. So that's the difference, and then the rest of the riff is the same as it was before. So basically that second time through the chord, you're just going to switch it from that B flat to the D. All right, so that's just that quick little variation, 1 chord difference, and then we get from there we're just gonna be going back into the verse, just like we played before. All right, so now we get to the chorus, which is at the end of the song, and it's slightly different than the other ones. Looks like this. All right, so same the first time through. Now we just hit each one twice. All right, so the end of the track, pretty simple stuff. Coming out of that chorus, let's look at this. All right, so it's just like that riff we did earlier, just that low E hiss. And then up to the 1st fret. It's kind of 4 hits there, muted. And we are done. All right, so it's a marathon, just like a lot of this classic Metallica is, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Me breaking it down for you note for note. And I will see you guys again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.